Hi, my name is Anna. I'm a lecturer at School of Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering in FEIT here at UTS. In this video, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT and more so about how you might want to use it in your subject. We're going to focus on how to create projects, and you might want to align them with some of the stuff in your subject outline, specifically some of the subject learning outcomes. So let's head over to ChatGPT. So step 1, start with a clear and concise statement about what you want to create. So in this video, let's create a project suitable for mechanical engineering students. We're going to ask ChatGPT to generate a list of suggestions. So generate project ideas for mechanical engineering students. ChatGPT will simply then generate a bunch of projects, and it actually does quite a lot of them. So this time we got 10, which is awesome. We'll go up here and look, is there anything we find interesting? I mean, some of them seem really difficult. So that's where you have to go in with your expertise and, select the ones that you think suitable, and depending on what year the students are in as well. I mean, yeah. Development of a smart bicycle lock with GPS tracking and anti-theft features. That sounds pretty cool. So step 2, we need to provide any necessary context or background information to help ChatGPT to understand what the project is and how to generate some of the goals. In this case, we're going to use that idea that we already got. So I'm just going to paste it back in here, and let's generate an overview of this project. And I like making it for students, so it's kind of addressing students rather than myself as a coordinator. It makes it a lot easier when you want to use it in, say, your assessment that you want to give students, because then you can simply copy paste and edit some stuff to actually fit in what you want to achieve. As we can see, ChatGPT is given a pretty good detailed description of what they want to achieve, but because we're still narrowing down, let's ask them to apply some other stuff. So suggest project path, or a weekly schedule. So in this case, it's asked me to do Monday, done the weekly days. Quite often our subjects aren't running all the way through to Sunday. So let's ask ChatGPT to only do it once a week for 4 weeks. So in here, it's even giving me a meeting agenda, which is great. Gives us the objectives as well. And you can narrow this down as much as you want, whether it's the overview or the objective of the project itself. Obviously, put in your expertise knowledge into seeing if that's suitable for students. Step 3, refine the project assessment by adding specific questions or criteria. So this is a good opportunity to introduce your subject learning objectives, course intended learning outcomes, or the graduate attributes. So I'm just going to open up my subject outline here. So here's my SLOs, for example. Engineering students tend to have their Engineers Australia competencies. So if that's suitable to address in your project, I think that's a really neat thing to include. I'm going to include my SLOs just for the sake of this video. So I'm just copying this in. At this point, it's kind of up to you. You can either explain how these can be addressed, or you can create an assessment rubric or an assessment task that's related to these ones. So we're going to keep going with this project in here, and I'm just going to paste it. Oops, it was a little bit too quick. All right, so I'm going to stop generating this because I made a mistake. So I'm going to paste it back in there. Just remember to hold down Shift and Enter, otherwise it will automatically submit what you pasted in there. So align this with the student project above. Sometimes when you don't specify, it can sometimes dislodge from your project that you have been creating, and it tends to not align really well. So you might have to remind ChatGPT to look back a little bit further up. There we go. So it uses the SLOs and it tells how this is actually addressed in the project. Step 4, let's create an assessment rubric. So in this step, we want to use this project and we want to create a rubric, so it makes it a little bit easier for us when we want to assign the marks and whatnot. So we just have to generate a rubric. I tend to add in for this project just to kind of avoid it actually not relating back to the project that we're talking about. You don't have to, you can try it regardless. And if it doesn't generate what you want, just direct it. You can kind of correct ChatGPT as much as you want. So let's see what we got. So we have some criteria: design system thinking, technical skills, collaboration and communication skills, self, peer and team reflection. So as you can see, it's very much related to the SLOs. Might not necessarily be what you want. You might want to make it more, related to some of the other competencies that you want to see. For example, the CAD. Include CAD as one of the criteria. And essentially what ChatGPT will do is just regenerate what it had in there, and it will add CAD as part of it. And if you have a look at some of the, I'll let it continue, but if you have a look at some of these poor, fair, good, excellent, we might want to have, our distinction and high distinction. So if you do have any particular assessment criteria that you want ChatGPT to follow, it's a matter of directing ChatGPT to use it. So I'll let you guys try it with what you currently have. If you have an old assessment criteria, pop it in there and ask ChatGPT to regenerate it for you, because that's also a way you can apply it to new subjects or new projects. Step 5, let's generate a project outline. We're just going to generate, which includes the rubric. Let's include a weekly schedule. What else can we add in there? And some lab activities. We let ChatGPT do its thing. There we go. Project title, project overview, rubric. All we need to do when we have this, or not all we need to do, but a good step is just to copy paste into a Word document or your UTS template that you use for your project for students. Do some final edits, include some images. I do highly recommend to actually read over it. Don't solely trust ChatGPT to do your job for you. I think if you even ask ChatGPT, it will tell you it needs a human person to verify what's actually coming out. And obviously apply any changes that you think suitable. And yeah, look at this. We have an outline and we can refine it back and forth as much as we want. So obviously this project overview is a little bit shorter than what we got earlier on, and we can just scroll up and find the pieces that we wanted. We can copy them and we can paste them back into ChatGPT to include. Yeah, just try your way there. Hopefully some of the tips in this video were useful to you and you're able to use them in your subject. Some of the key takeaways: just keep it clear and concise. It's okay if things go wrong or you don't spell them correctly. ChatGPT is essentially like talking to anyone else in real life. You can kind of ask follow-up questions, or you can let them know when they're not answering the question correctly. So just have a play around with it, and I'm really excited to see what you guys can come up with.